What's up, YouTube? Zach's back with another attack, and today I have to talk to you all about Trump. My first video about politics, and it's a little bit of a different one because, of course, it's all about his marijuana dealings that are going on. But first, before we get into all of that, I just gotta ask you, what do you call a stoner's wife? Mrs. Hippie. That one would be funnier if you were stoned. If you like darkness and hanging with Heartless, then you are not Sora, but you may be looking for a channel to watch. Zach to the future. So recently it's come out that the Attorney General for President Trump is against marijuana. Well, that didn't just come out, but his strong stance has really become greater known and has started to show its effects in recent days and weeks. And the thing is, with Trump, he was all about creating jobs on the campaign trail. And he also said on the campaign trail that he was for states' rights, them choosing what they wanted, especially when it came to marijuana and the legalization, because if a state says they want it, who's the government to step in? State rights should be important. And that's what I think. But now, Sessions is saying that he's cracking down on marijuana. No pun intended on the crack. 29 states currently have a way for people to grow, sell, and create products that are infused with marijuana. Now, that was completely legal under states' rights, but federally that has always been illegal. The Cole Memorandum made it so that the federal government could not step in and kill, effectively, any local shops or producers of any marijuana-related things. This was great, but now they're trying to repeal that memorandum created by Obama. And one common thought is that he's actually going to divert money from the Justice Department's resources where they do things such as crack down on gangs and stopping terrorism to funnel that money into shutting down local marijuana shops and producers in other ways. To me, when half of the states and half of the people in the country have voted to be pro-marijuana, whether it's medicinally or recreationally, in some capacity, over half the people in the country have essentially voted that they want this. And Trump's campaign had a lot to do about creating jobs. Marijuana creates a lot of jobs. Now, it creates jobs from people who are working in these shops, from people who are studying it, from people who are growing it. Even people who are using it are able to get jobs easier because of this. If it's legal, and assuming they're not showing up to work high, a lot of companies have less stringent requirements on people who smoke marijuana in these places where it's legal. So now you're killing a lot of jobs, effectively going back on what you said about having states' rights. Granted, this is Sessions that is doing it, not Trump himself, so he's found the loophole there. And you're not helping the national debt at all. The national debt is incredibly high, and there's nothing that's really getting done about it. This wall that Trump wants is just increasing all of this debt we have, and marijuana is one massive way to help that go down. When California's legal market for marijuana becomes fully functional, they're expecting it to be a $5 billion industry. Other states have already been seeing hundreds of millions of dollars in tax revenues because of marijuana being legalized. And all this money can go towards bettering that state, decreasing the national debt, shoot, even helping Trump run for another term. I don't get why this isn't a thing. Currently, the legalization of marijuana has led to these products being the fastest growing industry in the world right now. And because of all this controversy and people not really knowing what's going down with it, it's made a lot of people very uneasy. And not knowing what the future is of the industry makes not many people want to get started in it. It's very much slowed down this whole industry from being one of the fastest growing to a very stagnant industry because it could end any moment. The people who are already seeing success are still having success for the moment, but knowing that could change any time is making them seek other options in the worst case scenario. The biggest thing that bugs me is that marijuana is still scheduled as a Schedule 1 drug, which means that it's not only listed as having no medical use and a high potential for abuse, but it's also in the same category as heroin and ecstasy and LSD. This is not the case. It's got so much medical use. Studies have been done. It's proven to have medical use, and it's nowhere near as bad as heroin. And that's the thing, that Sessions has even straight up said that it's only a little bit less bad than heroin. And that's... what? There's no way that marijuana is only a little bit less bad than heroin. You seen a heroin junkie? Have you seen a stoner? That's day and night. A stoner is one thing that's not that bad. And then a heroin junkie, I've seen them hurt people. The guy was on heroin when he tried to mug me. And lastly, I just gotta comment on the medical use of this, because decriminalizing it is one thing that helps take down the population in prisons and things like that that are really beneficial to this country as a whole. But medicinally, you can't get rid of the legalities of marijuana. It helps many soldiers with PTSD. It helps many cancer patients with their symptoms and pain. It helps with muscle spasms. It helps with people who can't or won't eat because of no appetite. It helps reduce seizures. And all in all, it really just makes people feel good. And if it's something that is majorly harming people, then that's one thing. But when it's only serving to not make us money and send a lot of people to jail, then what's the point? Kids are gonna do it if they're gonna do it. They are now, so that's not gonna change with legalization if that's what Sessions is worried about. Kids are smoking cigarettes. Kids are drinking alcohol. What's the difference if their parents have marijuana? Other than cigarettes and alcohol kill a lot of people, and marijuana's literally killed 0 people ever. So I don't know who hurt you, Sessions. I don't know if your son was a major stoner and you're just trying to get back at him now or something. Who really knows? Maybe you're just mad you weren't one of the cool kids in high school or something. But anyways, guys, I'm Zach. Don't you do crack, do weed or something, because this is ridiculous. But anyways, guys, leave a comment in the shoe rack, and I will catch you in the future.